The 2024 Yokohama Bay Stars didn't just win the Japan Series, they inadvertently exposed a mathematical travesty. Statistically, the value of finishing first in the NPB pennant race has depreciated by a shocking 35% since the introduction of the Climax Series in 2007, a chilling indication that 143 games of grueling, high-stakes baseball are rapidly being reduced to a mere seeding tournament for a 5-day sprint.
Commissioner Sakakibara's proposed rule change isn't a genuine solution. It's an admission of guilt, a desperate attempt to patch a sinking ship while pretending the vessel isn't fundamentally flawed. If you live and breathe Japanese baseball and believe the sacred 143-game grind deserves more respect than a quick lottery draw, then you're absolutely in the right place.
Welcome to 604 News Now, where we break down the most contentious plays and policies shaping the future of the league, starting with this explosive debate over the sanctity of the pennant. The crisis point, as everyone knows, arrived when a team with barely 2 games over 500, the third-place Bay Stars, swept the eventual Japan Series trophy. This wasn't just a fluke, it was structural validation that mediocrity can be crowned champion.
When Commissioner Sakakibara spoke about needing some kind of disadvantage for teams under the .500 threshold, proposing increasing the final stage requirement from the current 4 wins to 5 wins, it was music to the ears of traditionalists. Yet look closer, and you realize this proposed fix is nothing more than regulatory window dressing, designed to mollify the outrage of teams that dominated the regular season.
I spoke recently with veteran GM Kenzo Kurosawa, a man who has managed 3 pennant winners in the last decade, and his frustration was palpable. "We led the league wire to wire," Kurosawa told me, his voice tight with controlled anger. "We finished 10 games clear of third place. We used our best arms, managed our bullpen meticulously over 6 months, only to see it potentially erased in 4 games. The 1-win advantage is a joke."
If they change it to 5 wins, making the lower seed win 4 straight, it's marginally better, but it doesn't solve the core issue. Why is a barely winning team even allowed to play for the championship? Kurosawa hits the nail on the head. The proposed adjustment, which aims to ensure that lower-ranked teams face a higher hurdle, focuses entirely on the climax stage without addressing the existential threat the Climax Series poses to the 143-game season itself.
The league's motivation is transparent, and it splits into 2 conflicting goals. First, respecting the high-performing clubs, and second, ensuring the commercial viability of the postseason by maximizing the number of exciting games, thereby reducing the number of meaningless, dead games late in September. This second goal, the commercial push, is the true villain in this story.
The argument supporting the CS has always been that it keeps fan interest high across all 6 teams, ensuring gate revenue right up until the final week. However, this is a profoundly short-sighted economic argument that devalues the most crucial product the league offers: sustained, high-quality, long-form competition. Consider the psychological disparity. The league winner has fought for 6 months to achieve dominance, often accruing a victory margin equivalent to 2 full weeks of baseball over their nearest competitors. Yet they enter the final stage knowing that 1 slump, 1 injury, or 1 hot streak from a lesser team can negate all that effort. As Dr. Jun Sato, a renowned sports economist and NPB historian, pointed out, we are confusing excitement with fairness.
If you look at the major U.S. leagues, the MLB wildcard format, while having its own critics, rarely allows a team barely scraping .500 into the World Series conversation unless they have actively won a division title, cementing their regional dominance. NPB is flirting with a system where finishing third is functionally similar to finishing second, especially if the third-place team is hot in September. Commissioner Sakakibara talks about ensuring 5 sessions are played, which is explicitly about guaranteeing revenue, a focus that betrays the competitive integrity. The conflict escalates precisely here. The league is attempting to satisfy the traditionalists by making it mathematically harder for a third-place team to win, while simultaneously ensuring the third-place team still has a commercial reason to fight until the end. This is where the proposed rule change, the 5-win requirement for the final stage, falls into a philosophical trap. Let's imagine the scenario. A third-place team, 70-73, scrapes into the CS, then manages a stunning upset in the first stage. They then face the league leader, who finished 85-58. The league leader starts with a 1-0 advantage in a 7-game series, meaning the challenger must win 4 of the remaining 6 games. While this is certainly a steeper climb than the current 4-win scenario, it still leaves the league champions psychologically vulnerable. They have to face a fully motivated underdog who has already overcome one massive hurdle. Here's the plot twist, the fundamental truth that Commissioner Sakakibara's committee is actively avoiding. The discussion about the 5-win requirement is meaningless because it's targeting the wrong element.
The problem isn't how many games the underdog has to win. The problem is the existence of the climax series in its current form. The real solution, and the one hinted at by some of the more radical voices in the debate, is total structural reform. If the goal is truly to eliminate late-season dead games and maximize commercial appeal without tarnishing the pennant, we must abandon this current playoff obsession entirely. Why not look to European football? Mister?
Tanaka, a vocal fan representative from the Central League, demands, if the league needs more games and more revenue, fine, give us an NPB Cup. Run a completely separate mid-season tournament structured like soccer's FA Cup. Teams from both leagues compete, maybe even bringing in farm teams for early rounds. This creates intense, meaningful games, provides fan service, and crucially, the winner of the NPB Cup does not lay claim to the sacred league pennant, which remains the sole property of the team with the best 143-game record. This approach separates the search for commercial thrill from the competitive sanctity of the championship. It allows for the excitement of Gekkokujo in a distinct competition while preserving the hard-won legacy of the regular season winner.
Ultimately, the move to a 5-win requirement for the lower seed is just an incremental delay. It fails to restore the respect the pennant deserves. It's an unsustainable compromise built on the fear of losing short-term revenue. And until NPB commits to protecting the 143-game grind over the 5-day lottery, the crisis of competitive integrity will only deepen. The core issue remains: how much are we willing to dilute the regular season for the sake of playoff drama?
Will the proposed 5-win hurdle actually deter a determined Gekkokujo, or will it simply make the occasional upset even more contentious? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think the CS should be scrapped entirely, or should they adopt an NPB Cup format, separate from the league title? Like this video, share it with your fellow baseball fanatics, and most importantly, subscribe to 604 News Now for the deepest dives into Japanese baseball strategy and policy.